Amazon Prime has had some excellent movies earlier this year, but now they're releasing one of their final movies of this year, Sound of Metal, and it might just be their best one yet. What's going on, everybody? My name is Zach, and if you guys are new here, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I love talking movies, geeky content, TV, video games. That's what we love doing over here on a daily basis, so make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for Sound of Metal? Have you already seen it? Let's discuss it all down there. Sound of Metal is about a heavy metal drummer's life who is thrown into a free-for-all when he begins to lose his hearing. This is written and directed by Darius Marder, and it also stars the likes of Riz Ahmed and Olivia Cooke. I was very much looking forward to this film, especially because of Riz Ahmed. I think this guy, ever since he popped up in the scene in Nightcrawler, I've been really much hinging on whatever this guy does next, because that performance alone was fantastic. But his performances going from there have continually been the shining spot of any film that he's been in. And Sound of Metal is not just his best performance yet, but also might garner him some award nominations, because he is excellent in here. I mean, honestly, goes to a place that I haven't seen an actor go to since Nightcrawler with Jake Gyllenhaal. That's not to me saying that he's playing a certain sociopath in this film. No, he's playing a guy who's pretty much, his whole world is falling apart, and he's having to learn a new form of life when you can't hear. And I absolutely love the way that they were able to touch into that story with inside this film. And I think that's what really made me hinged into this film. Wasn't just the performance, and definitely the story added in, but all the elements surrounding that are so important and integral to the story. Back up a little bit and jumping back into the performances, because Riz Ahmed is absolutely superb in this. I loved him in this film, and again, goes to a layer that I haven't seen him go yet too. This is easily his best performance, and I really hope the guy does get a nomination next year when the Oscars do come around, because he deserves it. He gave his all into this role. He embodied this guy, and I love it. Also shouting out Olivia Cooke, who is also pretty fantastic in here as well. I really liked her work over the last couple of years, but I think this is a pretty great supporting actress role that she does in here. Kind of jumping into some of the other supporting cast, Paul Raci is also great as Joe, and Lauren Ridderloff, who is also most notably from The Walking Dead and also going to be in Marvel's Eternals next year. I love her. I love her, and when she showed up in this, I was just so excited to see her. She's such a charismatic actress, and I love what she's able to do with all of her roles, and I think she's great in this as well. Darius Marder, the director and writer of this, does something very superb with this, and what he really enhanced in his directing with the performances are something to talk about, but it's his directing when it comes to a technical aspect, when it comes to the sound editing and sound mixing. Now, yes, we got to give major pros to the guys who are involved with that, but as well as Darius's idea of how to bring this about, this film has a unique aspect of that, where if, again, this film doesn't get nominated for at least those two things, there's something wrong. Because for me, watching this film, the way that they were able to flex the sound in and out truly made you feel like you were going through Riz Ahmed's footsteps. It's again something that I wasn't expecting to dive into so hard, but I really felt like I was him. I felt like I was losing my own hearing. It actually gave you a whole new perspective towards that living of life, and I think it actually will maybe bring a more appreciated part towards some people who maybe have never looked at it a certain way. One of the things I truly learned from this film is that how people view themselves as being deaf. They don't view it as a weakness, they view it as a strength in some sort of capabilities. And the way that they were able to really further that out and really develop that message throughout this was very important for me and some of the people that are surrounding me in my life. I think that's the thing that I absolutely loved about the message of this film, is when it really dived deeper into that. And just in general, surrounding and unwrapping this film into truly what it truly is to become. Because the final 5 minutes of this film, the final shot, is so touching, so heartbreaking, so heart-shattering, but absolutely phenomenal. And not just Darius is a part of this, but Riz Ahmed as well. He's the last final focus of this film, and it's just excellent. You know, again, most films aren't perfect, and Sound of Metal does have some issues, and really much my biggest issue with the film is I do think it's a little bit too long. Some of the pacing is a little bit rough, especially in the middle part of the story, because it does get a little bit repetitive here and there with some of the story elements, and, you know, that's fine to show the repetitive nature of it. You know, you really much are in Riz Ahmed's footsteps. This is what he's going through, but for me, it's almost a 2-hour film, and I feel like this film could have been cut down by maybe 10 to 15 minutes at least to really help with the pacing issues, because there came a point in the middle I was like, oh my god, we're only an hour in. And, you know, while I was invested with the story, I definitely feel like there were elements that could have been cut out here and there to really further out that pacing that, you know, it wasn't really needed. And I get why it was there, but it could have used a cut. But with that said, that's really my only issue with Sound of Metal, is that pacing and the length of it. I think this film could have been shorter, it would have been perfect, but nonetheless, Darius Marder makes an excellent film here from a writing, a directing standpoint, great stuff around there. This is a technical achievement in some sort of capabilities when it comes to the sound mixing, and it's absolutely phenomenal to see how they were able to pull a lot of this off. I love Riz Ahmed. I think Riz Ahmed is fantastic. He's one of the best actors working right now, and I think this performance will definitely show that to many others. And Olivia Cooke's great as well. The whole supporting cast is great, but it really is Riz Ahmed's story here. So with all that said, I'm going to give the Sound of Metal B+. Thank you once again, guys, for clicking on this video. I hope you guys did enjoy this review. Make sure again to hit that like and subscribe button. Comment down below and let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you guys excited for Sound of Metal? Are you not? Let's discuss it all down there. As well as head on over to Sandwich on Films on how to see films early. And of course, it's a big thing to you and a big thing to my Patreon supporters, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. Thank you guys again. And of course, until next time, stay classy.